Well, good evening and welcome to this evening's service. My name is Reverend Marilyn Cassey, and we welcome all of who are present with us this evening online and those that will review our service at their leisure. I ask you to join me in consciousness and let us take a couple of breaths to ground and center ourselves. Breathing in and breathing out. And once more, taking a breath in, breath of life, and breathing love out to the world. God is the only power in my life. God is, God as me, God is me. There is not one thing from without that can touch the perfect life of God within me. I am a perfect child of God, and no obstacle or disturbance can interfere with my divine inheritance. There's no limit to the good which is mine. The power and the strength of spirit is greater than any circumstance in my life. I turn away from all feelings of inadequacy. I remember that I am the architect of my life, and I discover that all that I need is within and always has been within me right now. I live and move and have my being inside the presence. I embrace courage and love no matter what arises. Old patterns and conditions have no power over me. Everything I desire is chasing me. I release all that does not sustain, invigorate, enlighten, or thrive my body, soul, heart, or mind. I am free. I am complete and I am whole, and I share my peace with everyone. In gratitude, I release these spoken words to the law, knowing it is done. Please join me in anchoring this truth. And so it is.
Good evening, everyone. Our land acknowledgement is we work, live, and play on the historical and traditional territory of many First Nations. And as we gather on Turtle Island, we as settlers are grateful for the opportunity to meet here. And we thank all generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years, including the Métis, Inuit, and all other Indigenous people. Also acknowledging that as we continue to grow and expand on these lands, there is still unresolved and dangerous inequality and discrimination toward our BIPOC and 2SL LGBTQ plus family. By making these acknowledgements, we strive to be allies and take an active part in reconciliation. We recognize our oneness, we realize our history, and we choose to create a new reality. We are one. Our vision here at CSL on the Lake is transforming the world through the emergence of the sacred, authentic self. And our mission is to welcome you as you are, where you are, without judgment or criticism, providing a sacred place of learning and growing as you seek to achieve your greatest dreams. We accomplish this by offering Science of Mind classes, social events, inspiring workshops, thought-provoking services, and practitioner support. We honor the revelation of your emerging sacred, authentic self through our positive messaging and loving support. Let us now prepare for meditation with Rev Sharon.
So this evening, we're doing a meditative spiritual mind treatment. So our beliefs are the bridge to experience. And according to Raymond Charles Barker, one of the ancestors upon whose shoulders we stand, meditation is the act of absorbing an idea into consciousness. As you meditate upon an idea, you absorb it into the structure of your thought, and it becomes you. There is that as you that knows, has always known, and is simply remembering. So set aside what came before, what may come after, and be present to and in this moment. You may choose to close your eyes and breathe gently. We recognize there is one unified field of consciousness, nothing else, nothing in addition to it. This is always infinitely happening. Never is there a time where we are not immersed and enfolded within the divine intelligence that pours itself into form by becoming the thing that it makes. This is the innate truth, the individualized essence of which you are the being. In silence, contemplate the awareness of being created, enfolded, immersed as divine intelligence, constant, infinite, eternal. Yeah. We unify with the one. All is one. All form is sourced from the divine intelligence, whether trees, flowers, stars, galaxies, planets, or you. Constant, infinite, eternal. In silence, feel, embody, embrace, and renew the knowledge of which you have always been aware. We realize, we declare, this is an opportunity to set intentions, to allow oneself to be open to possibility, potential, to allow intuitions to appear as you absorb this awareness. Experience interior communion with great ideas of truth as you. We express gratitude as we acknowledge that and each individual being is one, unique, releases the receptivity to allowing your awareness to be revealed in your life expression, unfolding under grace in perfect ways, feeling the pulse of the divine, constant, eternal. Listening with the expression of love that you are, hear these words. If every single person who has liked you in your lifetime were to light up on a map, it would create the most glitteringly beautiful network you could imagine. Throw in the strangers you've been kind to, the people you've made laugh or inspired along the way, and that star-bright network of you would be an impressive sight to behold. You're so much more than you think you are. You have done so much more than you realize. You're trailing a bright pathway that you don't even know about. Contemplate this and take it into your conscious awareness as you. And together we say, and so it is.
So here we are, and the talk title tonight is Practicing Being in the Moment. And we all know that our circumstances can change in an instant. Circumstances can be very real, like stone walls in our path. But Ernest Holmes reminds us to think independently of any existing circumstances. That is what is meant by entering the absolute. And that's a quote from Science of Mind, page 417. Each of us have lived through difficult times in our lives. I have had my share of disappointments, frustrations, and pain. We are not to dwell in the depths of darkness, but to take what corrective measures we can and come out the other side into the light. Yes, we are to internalize God's abundant love and compassion, and then to joyfully serve those who are hurting more than we are. So this is a short story about a man who was driving home late one rainy night. The road was slick. He was kind of grouchy. He didn't have much good to say about life. He was going down the road and saw the lights of an approaching truck, probably a big semi. He was doing fine until another pair of lights darted out from behind the semi and started coming straight at him. He hit the brakes and skidded off the road. He had a rude landing in the ditch. Luckily, the truck and the car sped on by him down the road. He sat there in the car. He wasn't hurt, and the car wasn't too badly damaged. He did sit there for a long time. As his heart began to slow down, you can imagine the rush of emotions that ran through him. First, there was out and out fear coming, that close to taking the happy trip. Then the terrible anger he felt. How could this person do this? How could they be so careless? Then there was a relief. At least he had survived. All of a sudden, he began to see how unimportant all of his worries were. That near brush with death brought a new perspective to life. I want us to consider the great gift we can make to ourselves if we would simply awaken to our daily living and be present fully. So often we think that this can only happen in an alarming crisis way, a brush with death, the loss of a job, the ending of a relationship, whatever. We create them to bring ourselves back into what really matters in this life. Children fall asleep, they have a bad dream, parents are there for them, they nourish them, they cuddle them, they say, it's okay, I'm here. You're just having a bad dream, you're safe. I believe that message is always available to us, but often we don't hear it. We're making way too much noise. If we become still and listen, there is an unmistakable presence of God that yearns to reassure us that you are a divine enterprise. And this voice is backed up by all the love, intelligence, and power of the universe. We can have moments of powerful transformation, but I have found that our awakening is more often a process. It's progressive. And yes, sometimes even snail-like. Ernest Holmes says that what we demonstrate today, tomorrow, and the next day is not as important as the tendency which our thought is taking, the dominant attitude of our mind. If every day things are a little bit better, a little happier, a little more harmonious, a little more health-giving and joyous, and if each day we are expressing more life, we are awakening. This is practicing being in the moment. You and I are not contrived creations. We are evolving beings. And I'm inviting us to report in and to be accounted for, to be fully present. In conversations with others, being with others, have you ever been with someone or had the feeling that they're not really there with you? Or you've realized about yourself that you're not fully present with another person, or that you haven't really been present on the job, etc. So just be totally present. A wonderful occasion for awakening can come in gratitude. I wake up to more of my own spirituality when I admit how grateful I am for my family and for my life. How grateful I am to be with you this evening, to have the opportunity to grow with you. When I remember that I am, and you are the essence of love, living and moving and having our being in pure spirit. These are powerful, nurturing affirmations. Let's give it our best shot to be in this life experience fully. Some of my clearest moments of awakening were from difficult times. Yet they have been times of my fine-tuning my awareness, sharpening my commitments, what we stand for, how deeply we trust, and we stand completely exposed, vulnerable, and get to see what we really believe. These are great opportunities for growth. Rumi says, Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Now, I shared the story of this person because I had an incident on Wednesday evening. I went to a drugstore to pick up some medication, and I parked my car. As I was just about to put my body outside my vehicle, a car came at me. And I was in shock. I couldn't believe. I could not even finish opening up my car door. My leg was in between my car and the door. And had I been standing there, I would have been squished, is my word that came to mind. And I did basically what this man experienced and could say in his words. I was afraid I would not be able to do this if I had told you the whole story about me. I may not have dry eyes to be able to finish this. And I came home and I was most grateful. You might have to give me a second here and there. And then I had my conversation as I commune with God and how I appreciate life. So I invite all of us to practice being in the moment exactly where we are, to take a breath. And I trust that all is well. It was not my time to leave. So I invite you to let's take it all on. Let's just see what could happen as we awaken to the God qualities that we are, to the vast potential within us. I celebrate and honor your path, your divinity. I love our theme for the summer, walking the path to freedom, an inner spiritual journey. That is my vision, the path to freedom, an inner spiritual journey. You know, I'm going to ask you to be doing an affirmation. And so for your thoughts this week, to remind yourself and to remember that now is the point of our power. And I need a moment before I continue on, but in this moment, I'd like you to breathe in. And say, I'm aware of my heart. And as we breathe out, I smile to my heart. And if I may invite you to do that one more time, breathing in, I am aware of my heart. And breathing out, I smile to my heart. I know that is the God that is breathing me. And so now I thank you for your attention of listening and being in the moment. And so we're going to be going into our breakout rooms. And I believe Deja has our slides up here. And these are our intentions for sharing. And I ask you to join us in reading these along with the slide. It anchors our commitment in our own intentions for these breakout rooms. I am creating a divine space of understanding, love, and compassion for each person to share their beliefs and perspectives in this experience. I am speaking and acting for myself personally and not for others, and will share my truth honestly and respectfully. I am trusting that this is a safe place to step outside of my comfort zone, or rather my familiar place. I am keeping my opinions and advice to myself and will not crosstalk nor give advice or suggestions. I am keeping confidential what is shared here. I am ensuring each participant has equal time to share. And I am lighting up, and I am joy. Deja has posted our questions for the evening, practicing being in the moment. Take a snapshot picture, or she is going to post them in the chat room for us. What, if any, has your experience being in the moment with the divine presence? What does it invite you to do or say to yourself? What do you need to know from this wisdom? How will you maintain peace, love, joy, and release the chaos or circumstances?